Meanwhile, certain memorial services were held in France to honour the slain teacher Samuel Paty. And the events marked the passing of a year since the school teacher, remember, had been brutally beheaded by a certain Islamist radical. Now, the gruesome attack had struck at the heart of France's secular values, and several hundred people gathered to pay tribute to Samuel Paty, the teacher who had been beheaded after he had shown certain offensive caricatures of Prophet Muhammad to his class. A sculpture of an open book with cartoons celebrating freedom of speech was also unveiled in the middle-class Parisian suburb during a ceremony that was attended by hundreds of people and also the French education minister as well.
Les dessins, c'est évidemment l'un des principaux symboles que l'on peut donner, puisqu'on sait bien que c'est à l'origine de cet attentat. Et évidemment, on ne doit pas reculer d'un centimètre sur ce que représente la liberté d'expression dans notre pays et dans le monde. C'est la condition humaine qui est derrière cela, notre capacité à nous épanouir et à être libre. Donc on n'est pas sur des petits enjeux, on est sur ce qui fait l'essentiel de la vie.
Now, neighbours and friends also gathered outside of a gymnasium in the town where the history teacher Samuel Paty lived. Series of ceremonies in memory of Samuel Paty were organised on Friday through Saturday, with school children also singing songs and holding up candles and also observing several minutes of silence.
Nous avons tous le souvenir d'un professeur passionnant qui a su nous éveiller, nous faire grandir, changer notre regard sur le monde. Pour des générations de collégiens du WION, Samuel Paty était ce professeur. Pour ses confrères du collège, il était un collègue apprécié de tous, mais il était aussi un fils, un compagnon, un père.
Alors je ressens de la compassion bien sûr, parce que j'ai eu beaucoup plus de chance que lui, puisque moi personnellement j'étais au Bataclan, donc du coup j'ai réussi à m'en sortir. Mais c'est vrai que c'est hyper important de lui rendre hommage, parce que c'est toute la France qui a été touchée au travers de son assassinat. Et ça paraît tout à fait normal qu'il faille rendre hommage à une personne comme lui qui a subi les affres du terrorisme.
Now, Paty was murdered on the 16th of October last year near his school in the northwestern Parisian suburb. The Paty's attacker happened to be a teenager of Chechen origin. Now, the attacker wanted to avenge the teacher's use of certain blasphemous cartoons of Prophet Muhammad in a class on the freedom of expression, where Samuel Paty was teaching 13-year-olds and also was showing them these offensive cartoons. The Muslims, of course, see any depiction of the Prophet as completely blasphemous and as unacceptable. Now, Abdullah Anzarov decapitated Paty with a knife on a street in broad daylight, and then the French police, also shot him dead soon afterwards. Paty's murder exposed the deepening tensions between France's model of state secularism that seems to be in a bit of a crisis at this point of time. It is also a reflection on Emmanuel Macron's leadership in terms of how he has gone on to handle the fault lines in terms of the different communities who live in France. Now, France is home to Europe's largest Muslim minority. Almost about 10% of the French population happens to be Muslim, predominantly migrants from Algeria. And France is also, in recent years, has suffered a wave of attacks perpetrated by certain Islamist militants or their sympathizers. Now, in the wake of Samuel Paty's killing, some teachers also acknowledged that they had started to be more mindful of what they teach and show in their classrooms. They said that they have started to self-censor in order to avoid any kind of confrontation with pupils and parents of other religions that they may not completely understand. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.